my name is Stacey Flowers and I am a student of Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University and on a journey to become 100% debt-free. My current debt is $184,677.39. I am currently on baby step number 1 to save $500, and that is because my income is under $20,000 a year. I work part-time and I earn anywhere from $1,000 to $1,200 a month. In this video, I am going to be correcting a budgeting error that I made in my March 2018 budget. So if you are interested in seeing what the error is, how I intend to correct it, and a little bit of a walkthrough behind the scenes on the budget, please stay tuned. So as my intro implies, when I did my budget in March, I made a little bit of an error, and I just wanted to kind of talk through the error with you guys a little bit because it was actually something that 2 people from the community have pointed out to me. So what the error is for anyone who's paid on a bi-weekly schedule, you are likely to be paid 3 paychecks in the month of March. And the 3rd paycheck will be right around the 29th, 30th, or 31st of March. And then in the following month, April, you won't receive another check until you are between like the 11th and the 15th, 16th, or something like that. And because that's the way the paychecks are going to break down, what most people typically do is they actually take the check that's at the end of March and use that as the check that they would normally have at the beginning of the month. And typically that's what I would do as well. However, I was so excited that I was finally current on my rent that I realized that I didn't need to use the check from March to take care of the expense of rent at the beginning of the month. And in my enthusiasm and excitement for that, I forgot about 2 other expenses that actually come out between the 1st and the 15th, of which I would need to pay out of that particular pay period. And so what I have to do is go back into my budget and make that correction. So if you are looking at my budget for March 2018, I have the green check mark. It is an every dollar budget, and that is because I transferred everything that I talked through in my Budget With Me March live over into the every dollar for an additional checks and balance, just an additional checks and balance. So at this time, it is an every dollar budget. I want to bring your attention to these 3 paychecks, $560, $440, $560, because these are the anticipated paychecks that I have for the month of March. The 3rd paycheck is really the paycheck in terms of allocated money that is in question, because again, that paycheck falls on March 30th, and I have 2 expenses that will come out that need to be taken care of. I have 2 expenses in April that need to be taken care of with this paycheck that I'm going to receive in March. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Let's go down into my other expenses. So I have giving, savings, housing, phone, food, transportation, insurance, lifestyle, business, my tax payment account, and debt. I want to talk first about the 2 expenses that come out at the beginning of the month. For most of you, you will have your rent plus whatever additional expenses come out at the beginning of the month. But again, I'm current, so the 2 expenses that I have are my phone bill. So I'm just going to add that right now, mobile phone, and I'm just going to put a little note that it's April because that's just helpful for me. And it's the same $35.82. So when I do that, you can see right up here, it automatically changes. I'm $35.82 over budget, which is so frustrating. It's like, oh, I'm so bad about it. Then the other expense that would come out at the beginning of the month is transportation. And so I'm going to do CTA pass, and then I'm just going to put April as well. And that would be for $100. And so now you can see I'm $135.82 over budget based on expenses that need to come out with my March 30th paycheck that are actual expenses for April. And so I'm $135 over budget, and that is no small number. And so what I need to do now is try to see if I can find that $135 in one of these expenses. And so my giving expense is set at 10% tied, so there's no wiggle room there. There's no wiggle room in my housing because, again, I want to stay current on my rent. There is no wiggle room for food because you all know that my son is coming to visit for spring break, and I gave myself a little bit of extra money here just so that we can enjoy the food that we're having. My food budget is non-negotiable. Transportation, we just talked about that. Insurance, this is another area that's non-negotiable because I want to initiate my insurance this month so that way I can, one, have insurance, and two, I will have completed my first financial goal, which is to restore my financial dignity. Lifestyle is a very big category where there could be some wiggle room. Business, this could be some wiggle room here. Tax payment, there's nothing there as it stands right now, so there's nothing to negotiate. And then debt, there's no wiggle room. These are the minimum payments that I have for these two debts. So I want to come up to lifestyle to see if I can find $135 in my lifestyle. It's so, what Dave Ramsey would call this is a budget committee meeting, by the way. If you were taking his Financial Peace University program, anytime you have to change your budget or you want to make a purchase for something that you did not originally allocate, you're supposed to have a budget committee meeting with your accountability partner, and you guys are my accountability partner. And so welcome to our budget committee meeting. All right, I need to find $135.82. So toiletries and cosmetics, I really just need to change this category, these two, to just personal hygiene and household pantry is what I think I need to change these categories to, because that's really what they are. And then clothing, spring break ticket. All right, so let me just change these to the proper titles. This is household pantry, this is like paper towels, toilet tissue, stuff like that. And this is personal hygiene, and that just is hygiene. Okay. All right. So, wow. Okay. So commission, child support, Apple iTunes, these categories are non-negotiable. Spring break ticket, non-negotiable. So I have, if I put $0 for clothing, personal hygiene, and household pantry, that is $80, but that still doesn't give me my $135 that I need. If I take off my hosting, that's $95. I still don't have what I need. Okay. Ooh, okay. This is stressful. This is very stressful. So, because the mistake that I made last month was not giving myself anything for personal hygiene and then giving myself something when I made extra money. And I want to just be honest and leave the category in there. Spring is coming and I have winter clothes. I need household pantry because I need just, stuff, because it's just not going to be me. I think it's different when it's just you, because they're like, you can cut deeper sacrifices. So that could potentially be, so what I can definitely take off the podcast hosting, because I was already planning on opening up a separate business account and running a separate business budget so that way I'm not commingling my funds. That's something that has been pointed out and something that I've noticed. And yeah, I've been wanting to do that. So I'll take that $15 off of there. And I won't renew my podcast hosting until I've set up my business account. And that'll just give me a little bit of an incentive as well. So that's $120.82 that I need now. And the reason this is challenging, because in my mind I'm like, just take it from clothing, personal hygiene, and pantry. But what I want to be more so than anything is honest. And I want some transition clothes for spring, and I want some moisturizer. Like, there are some things that I want, and so I just need to be honest about whether or not I'm going to cut those things. And as it stands right now, like, I don't want to. I don't want to. What are my options? You know what? Let me see. All right. I am going to 50 minus 20. Okay, I'm gonna switch my personal hygiene to 29.18, so that way I can have the $20, or that way I can have that. I'm only $100 over budget, and what that $100 would serve would be for my CTA pass. And what I'm gonna do is two things. One, if I make over the amount that I'm supposed to be making in my paycheck, so let's say, I get a payment from Google AdSense, or, I babysit or whatever. If I make any extra money this month that I wasn't expecting to make, I will cover that CTA pass. But also what I'm going to have to do is just accept the fact that if I can't get my CTA pass when it's time for it to renew, then I'm going to walk to work. And I live within walking distance. I walked to work the other day. It was like a beautiful day in spring, and I may just have to do that until I can cover the expense to get that. Because the thing of it is I'm gonna have the money in April, but I just won't have it until that second pay period. And this is the thing that sort of sucks with living paycheck to paycheck and trying to get ahead, because I feel like if I take too much more from this budget, I will never be able, it will be even more difficult for me to be able to get ahead. And this budget is already so tight. And you guys know that one of my emotional blind spots, or not emotional, but one of my financial blind spots is emotion. My son is going to be here, and I just don't want to blow my entire budget because I'm suddenly emotional and wrapped up in yeah, and I just feel like if I take anything else from this month, that's what's gonna happen. So that $100 is what I'm going to attach to my irregular income spending. If I make an extra 100, then I will go ahead and get my CTA pass. If I don't, I will walk to work from the 1st through the 13th, which I usually work 3 or 4 days a week. So that's me walking for 4 days, which is totally fine. I love walking in real life. I'm not just saying that because I may have to walk. I really do love walking. That's why I walked to work the other day. So it's totally fine. And then that way I don't have to take anything else from my budget. But I do know that if I get the extra money, that I can take care of it. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. So if you are following along, that was stressful, guys. It was stressful, but it's okay. I'm still doing better than what I was doing before. This was just an error, and this is how we correct those errors. I hope for every single person who was following along and you were doing your budget, that if you stumbled upon this prior to me recognizing this, that you allocated your expenses that come out at the beginning of April for that paycheck that comes out in March. My objective is to get to the point where I'm not living paycheck to paycheck, so that way I can actually, the money that comes in during that month, I can spend that money for that month and the next month and the next month. And I'm well on my way to do that. And that's what me being current on my rent is all about. And now I see that there are a couple other expenses that I can become current on, as that I need to become current and or a month in advance on to support that. So thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments below if that's something that tripped you guys up. If you get paid on a bi-weekly schedule, how are you handling it? Do you feel like it's an extra check, or do you feel like it's just an extra nugget of stress? Let me know in the comments below. As always, I deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate your support. I cannot thank you guys enough for showing up for me and supporting me and giving me this opportunity to learn out loud in my best format possible. I love you guys, and I will talk to you all in the next video.